Photocrafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I've got quite a wow card for you today. I haven't seen this design before. I noticed the photograph of it on Pinterest and it had been created by somebody who goes by the name of Inky Inspirations. I will put the link in the box below the video to her video because she has done an A5 size card, which is, if you just take an A4 sheet, this is for North America to give you some idea what size it is. It's about that size in comparison. I should turn it sideways. In fact, there you go, you can see it that way. So that's how big an A5 card is. It's 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is a very, very big card. I've made this as our regular C6 card, and the measurements I'll be giving in the video will be inches for A4 cardstock users. I will put the measurements in the box below as always, together with the centimetres for A4 cardstock users. And I've just noticed something I should have done on this one. Never mind. I distract myself. And I will also put the inches for letter size cardstock as well. Because there is so much involved in this, I've had to do quite a lot of it ahead of time, but the important bit I've saved so that I will actually be doing it real time for you. Okay, I'm calling it Concertina pop-off card. Not sure what Inky Inspirations called it, but look at that. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? I've got several tips and hints to give you as we go along. There's plenty of room to write on the back, although because this is a very thick card, you would need to write in that little bit across there. I've made one for a family member, which I'll show you towards the end, and so I had this very much in my mind, how am I going to write on it, so I will have to just write in there. But I really think this is well worth the effort. When a card makes my hubby say, wow, then I know I've got a good one. So this is the before video card, and what I'm thinking is, because I've used, did I use it on this one? What colour am I? Oh no, it isn't. No. I was thinking that I'd used the basic beige on here, but that's not. That's a card I'm using, which means I have made a mistake for that one, haven't I? Yes, because I'm using basic beige on the video card. I should have used basic beige for these as well. So I might just pretend to adhere them on because I've already made them. Okay, and this was my first card using the retired Flight and Airy cardstock. This is my test card. Okay, just absolutely beautiful. This one I used 3 designs of Designer Series Paper. There was that design that's in there, which is the front, this design, and the one at the back there. Okay, but all my other cards I've just used 2 designs. So I'm going to start off by telling you the card pieces that you're going to be needing. Alright, so I'm starting off with basic beige, and this measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, scored and folded at 4 1/8 inches. Let's just put this up there. I know people do actually copy from these little notes, and I have tried to write bigger on this. Somebody did say that the writing was a bit small, so hopefully this is okay now. And next you need 3 pieces, and my third piece is over there somewhere. So whatever amount of pieces that I tell you, I don't necessarily have them here, okay, but I do have them all together. So you'll need 3 of these. These are middle layers, which will be one for here like the Lost Lagoon, and one under there, and one under there, and likewise I'll be telling you 3 pieces DSP, which will be those pieces as well. So the middle layers are 5 1/2 inches by 3 7/8 inches, 3 of those, and then you want 3 pieces of Storybook Moments Designer Series Paper, and these measure 5 3/8 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And then for the main piece on the inside of your card, which I'm calling the Concertina insert, I think, or the main insert, and this measures 8 inches by 5.5 inches, scored and folded at 4 inches. That's a special little note for me there. Then you need 4 of these basic beige pieces, and these should measure 3 3/4 inches by 2.5 inches. And then you need 4 pieces of Designer Series paper, and these measure 3 5/8 inches by 2 3/8 inches, just about. And then you need a piece of old olive cardstock, which measures 4 inches by 2 inches. That needs some scoring done on it. And then you need a piece of old olive cardstock, which measures 9 inches by 3 inches. That needs some work done on it. And you will also need scraps of old olive and basic beige. Now this is what I'm saying, I should have used basic beige for here. Depending on how it looks like on the card, I might not actually use these, but add it on after the video. It'll take too long for me to make you sit and watch that. Now the sentiments that I've used, these two, as you know, I do use quite a lot. Let's just pick that up off the floor. And they are from Labelled with Love, and that's you enjoy today and you are loved. And normally I use that one to go with it, the happy birthday, but I wanted something bigger to go on the front, so I've used the best birthday wishes from Poised Peony. But you use whatever sentiments you have, whichever are your favourites. The die cuts that I've used, the dies that I've used to do my die cutting, are from Perennial Postage. This was a set that my friend very kindly sent me, and I've used these. I've used numbers 2, 3 and 4. I always count from the inside, smaller the die, smaller the number, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's those that I've done. So thank you, Karen, for that, really appreciate it. Right, let's just pop that back in there. And the different little embellishments I've used, on this one I've used butterflies, this one I've used birds, and the one that I'll show you later I've used the hearts. Okay, that's, I prefer these to using actual gems. Mind you, I've got a million gems that I really need to get used up, so but I want to use what I actually like. Okay, so there's those. So let me start by doing all my scoring and everything. I have actually done the scoring beforehand, but I will go through the process of it for you. So first of all, I need the basic beige, and this needs to be scored at 4 1/8 inches, which is there. And then I will fold and burnish that. I'll come back to it in a minute because there's other scoring here to be done. And then on the piece that I said was 9 inches by 3 inches, you need to score this. Now this piece I'm not using, it is a scrap. It was going to be used, but I used my cutting blade instead of my trimmer, so I've sellotaped it up and I'm just using this demonstration purposes. Now this needs to be scored. Let me bring this down a bit. Okay. Right, it needs to be scored at 1.5 inches. As I say, I have already done my one over there. And then 3 inches, 4.5 inches, 6 inches. Oh no, I turn mine around so that I don't have to open this up. So I go back again, do 1.5 inches. 3 inches, 4.5 inches. Okay, so each panel you have here is 1.5 inches. Now the one that I've already done ahead of time, I thought I'd kept these all night. Oh, that's right. Okay, before I use this one, that's going to be folded and burnished. This one, which is the large piece for the insert, this one here, okay, that one there. So that needs to be scored and folded at 4 inches. So put that there to be folded and burnished. And then this piece, did I tell you about this piece? I think I did. This piece is 2 inches by 4 inches. Yep, that's right. And on the short side, you need to score. Now I'm going this way to start off with. First of all, you need to score at 1/4 inch, and then 1/2 inch, then 1 1/4 inches, and turn it around, and then 1 3/4 inches. Okay, so you finish up with 4 score lines along there. I don't know if you can see those. Yep, I think you see those. And that needs to be burnished. Now that, I think, is everything that we need the trimmer for. So first, no, I do need that again. So first of all, with this piece, which is the 9 inches by 3 inches, you need to fold this. You want mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, and then you need to do the burnishing of it. And always make sure you've got these straight. Okay, so just go all the way along and do that. That needs to be trimmed. And this one, this is valley, mountain, mountain, valley. Now this may appear to be a bit fiddly, but it is easier to do this way than do 4 pieces individually, because we're going to cut this into 4. Okay, so just go all the way along and do your burnishing. Okay, so I have already done mine. That would also need to be cut. So I'm getting a little bit panicky because I can't see what... Oh yes, I can. Alright, so bring my trimmer back. So my piece that is 9 inches by 3 inches, that's been folded like this, this needs to be cut in half on the long side. So cut this at 1.5 inches. So you finish up with your 2 Concertina pieces. Okay, I haven't told you about the pieces for decorating this yet, but I'll get to that one. Okay, so these are the ones I've already done. I'll tell you about these in just a jiffy. Let me just finish doing these pieces. Now this one, once you've folded all of it, you need to turn it on the long side and cut into 4 strips that are 1 inch long. Okay, so then once you've done that, it's very easy to go and re-burnish all your folds. Okay, so I don't need those anymore. I will bring in my ones, which I have already folded and burnished. And what you should finish up with are 4 pieces that look like this. In fact, let me get this trimmer out of the way. It's much easier if you can see on a plainer background. Okay, there we go. I don't know if I can stand. Yes, I can. Oops, no, it's not going to stand up for you. Can you see what I mean? Not really. I hope that's coming through all right. Oh, that's better, yeah. So you've got a long side and a short side. That's important. So all of those pieces are done. That one is done. And this one is the insert. So fold this one and burnish. and then this one is the main card. Like that. So that needs work on it. These need to be worked on. I need to explain to you about that. We come to those later. Right, I'm going to explain about these pieces here first. This is a very thick card. If you wanted to make it slightly less thick, where I've used my 2 layers here, it's not very obvious on this one, not very obvious on those either. Let me use this. Okay, so I've got my basic beige layer, and then I've got the picture layer, DSP. What you could do is leave out that layer, but just use these. It would take out like 12 layers of that, which is quite a bit. But as you know, I do like all my layers, so I'll have the thickness to go with it. You may also notice with this, I don't know whether you can tell or not, but this was one sheet of paper, that piece of DSP, because that lines up with that lines up, this garden lines up with that bit. Everything along here all lines up. You can see that one lines up. Now you can do it like that, so you cut one piece, or you can do it like I did with this one. Now this is the Designer Series Paper, and I cut those pieces out first, but I decided there was just too much white. Okay, that's what it looked like, but I finished up with a pair of legs where it all lined up, and all these just really very plain ones. So I went through my scraps, which looked something like this, and I just cut out the characters. I just cut them with a bit of a border on them, and then I cut them down so I got the best shape that I could out of all of them. I have had to repeat that one 3 times, and I think that is repeated twice as well. But I think that looks a lot better with not having the complete picture. Depends what paper you're using. This one I didn't bother either. These are just scraps. They don't line up. Like last week, no, 2 weeks ago, the video then, it's really your choice what you prefer. Right, so for this you need 12 squares of the middle layer, and that they measure 1 and, did I not write this down? Yes, that measures 1 1/4 inches by 1 1/4 inches, and the pictures DSP, they measure 1 1/8 inches by 1 1/8 inches. If you want to do the design only and not the basic beige, make the design that size, which is 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. Otherwise you'd have a very, very big layer of green around there. Okay, so that's that bit. I think this is probably the most involved card I've ever done. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start putting my card together as far as I can. Now the reason I've only got 2 pieces here is because this piece here, while I was putting them, adhering them like this, I actually put this on the wrong side. And why did I say that was the wrong side? I can't remember. Anyway, this here is a picture. Okay, so that passes on from there. There's a wheelbarrow there that goes on. Okay, so they're going to be my 2 pieces inside. I won't lay down because I glued it. Oh, because I glued it too soon, that was right. And that's the one that's going on the front. Again, if you don't want to worry about making these a continuation, I'm really not sure that people will. In fact, all mine are, no, these ones, they're not going to see, because you can't see the bit in the middle there. Alright, so they're not going to know whether it's a carry on or not. It's just that I had a piece of DSP that I could get 2 pieces out. Okay, so let's just put these 3 pieces on. I brought another silicone mat over with me because I knew that I'd got Bit of glue on that. Oh, here we go. I could always clean that off. It only takes a minute. Right, I'm going to use Topmo. You can use whichever is your favourite glue. Let's just take that little gluey bit off. Right. I'd be interested to know if anybody else has seen this card. The one that I'm going to show you at the end, I've actually personalised it, and I've also put a ribbon to tie it up with. And if you wanted to do that idea when you see it, this is the stage you'd put your ribbon on. I've decided against it. I did it on that card because it was an experiment. Okay, so that's that one. This looks absolutely fabulous when it's standing up on the shelf. Once I've made a card, I leave it. I have a shelf in front of me that's got my, normally got my laptop on it, and that's where I stand my cards up overnight. So when I come in the morning, it's what I see, and it gives me a good idea of like first impressions. Right, there's that one, and this one. Put a little bit more glue on because when Tombow dries, it's actually a removable adhesive. I'm going to try and work this in the order that the pieces go together. Okay. So when you do these, try and make sure that that is parallel to that one, because we will be using that as a guide. So there's that piece done. Now this piece, we've got to cut this so that it provides us with this triangle bit. Okay, that's all one piece underneath there. So what did I do with the other pieces? Why do I keep losing pieces today? Oh, here they are. I haven't lost them, just can't see them. Now, what I do, I use my, in fact, let me move these out of the way now because I need to use my pad. We need to make some marks on our card, and I'm going to do it that way. I've already put my marks on there. And to make sure that I'm getting them in the right place, I make the most of my grid paper. So what I do is the fold line, I make sure it goes down that dark line there. And then I make sure that this is halfway. If I remember correctly, it was 9 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe not. Go down the other way, you nincompoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. Alright, this must be, did I say this was 4 inches? No, this is 5.5, so it's 2 3/4 inches from here. Goes down to that line there. Okay, so I'm going to draw on here. So I've got to line the bottom of my card up with that line there, and this line down there, so I know my card is absolutely spot on. And what you could do, if I've got, no, I haven't got any near me, have I? Oh, let's try using a post-it pad. I'm going to just pop that on there to hold it in place. I will do 2. Now the first paper marks you're going to need are, I don't know if you can see, but I've got 2 little dots there, and that is halfway down, and it's 1/2 inch away from that line. So then I bring in a ruler. Each of these little dotted lines are 1/4 inch. So if I go 2 columns away, then I know this is 1/2 inch down, and because I've got all this lined up with my pad, I know that I've got that really straight. And then I just need to draw my line had to line this up as well, didn't I? So we need to line it up at 2 3/4. So that's just about there. So if you put your 1 inch here, you can work out where your 2 3/4 is, and bring it over to this line here, and line it up there and there, and so that's straight. Okay. Now we need to put a pencil mark 1 1/4 inches up, 1 1/4 inches up, 1 1/4 inches up, and 1 1/4 inches up. And again, because I've got my pad here, you can't see that bit, can you? Okay, I'll line it up here. 1 1/2 inches. Did I say 1 1/2 inches? Where's my big sheet? Yes, 1 1/2 inches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, because each line is 1/4, so that's 1/2 inch. That's 1 inch. That's 1 1/2. That's 1 1/2 inches from there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, I'm going to keep it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I've got a pencil mark there. Turn this around. That's my 1 1/2 inch line. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's my line there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One line there. Okay. Now what you need to do is you need to draw a pencil line from that dot down to this line, and then that dot down to this line, and then we're going to do exactly the same on the opposite side. So that's there, that's there, there. Okay, is that one? And then that line there. So move it over a bit. That line. That's right. And then draw that. Oops. And then do the same on the other side. It's 1 1/2 inches. And then again here. Now, I have tried doing, oh, I've missed a sign, the dot there. Never mind, I'll go on the outside of that line a bit. I have tried cutting this on my trimmer, and it works, but the one that I cut using a large pair of scissors worked a lot better. So I'm going to cut this by hand. I'm going to cut along that line up until that point, but this one didn't go quite to that dot, so I'm just going to make it slightly. In fact, let me do a correct one first for you. Now if you go to the, not quite, do you want to fall off? Do I need to cut you? Yeah, I need to cut you. That's better. Now this is the one I need to cut slightly out. So it starts off okay. Right, did it. Right, and then the last one here. Now you may or may not want to erase your pencil lines. You can just use this that way inside your card, so chances of the pencil marks being seen is pretty slim. I like to, just in case, remove them. There we go. Right, so that's ready. Now we need to do the panels that are going on here, which is why we've got 4 of these. Now I have already done 4 of these card ones because they're quite straightforward. You do all 4 the same, but I haven't done the paper yet because there's an important thing I need to tell you about that. So on these, you need to mark up. All these instructions will be in the box below the video. I've made special notes on each of these. So this one is the 4 pieces, the cardstock. So that's that one, 1 1/4. Right, okay. So I have to mark 1 1/4 up on each of these. So what I'm doing is I am just lining my card up straight here. And 1 1/4 is 5 quarters, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 1 1/4. Check twice, cut once. 1 1/4. Yep. Okay, so do that on all 4 pieces. And then what we need to do with this trimmer's getting a really good workout today. So with your pencil mark there, you need to cut from there right up to this corner. Okay, so I'm going to put the corner in there first. Then I'm swinging this. Can you see that? Yes. Okay, so my corner is in the cutting groove, and that line is in the cutting groove. And make sure you cut up from this way. Don't cut from the point downwards because it may make it pucker up. There we go, that was good. Right, so you should finish up with 4 like that. Okay, so these are my 4 here. Oh, I've got more than 4. Oh, okay. I've got another one now. These, with your Designer Series paper, you also need to mark these 1 1/4 up, which I have already done. Let's just move this a little bit. Again, let's put this down here. Make sure that's nice and straight there. And this you're going to mark at 1 1/8 inches. 1 1/4, 1 1/8, yep. Okay, so half of one of these columns is 1/8 of an inch. And I have actually already done this, and I don't know if you can see my pencil mark there. Okay, so there's that one done. And a pencil mark on that one done. But with the other 2, you need to turn them over. Otherwise you'll have 4 triangles all facing like that. But you need 2 different ones for each of them. Those have got to be the same, those have got to be the same. Easy way of doing it is just turn 2 over. Make sure you're keeping your design up the right way. And then measure 1 1/8 up again. Yep, I've done that. And I've done that. Okay, so all 4 of these I'm actually doing with you. So I'm doing 2 round the right way first. So I am putting the corner in the groove there. Bring the cutting blade down to the bottom. There we go, that's that one. And then do this one. There's my pencil mark there in the top. That's in the groove. That's in the groove. Yes, that's good. Oh, yeah, the cutting blade down the bottom. There we go, that's good. Okay, so we've got two triangles that look like that. Now these should make the pattern go the other way round. So 1 1/4. Light that one up first. That's in the bottom. That's good. Bring the cutting blade down. So now our triangle is that way round. Let's do this one. In the cutting channel. There we go. And then we've got another triangle that way round. Alright. So the two that you did this way, because you're going to be using this side, you may find that you've got a ridge on your cutting because you cut the other way round. So I just smooth that bit over. And then we have these. We've got 4 of these. Why did I do so many? They all look the same size. Okay. No idea. So then you just turn these over so that they fit. Okay. Now if you find that they don't fit perfectly, join the club. It was only since I actually cut the triangle bit, that I got one that worked out really well. Whether it was because I cut the triangle or not, I don't know. But all the others, some of these have been slightly out. So what I did was make the bit that noticed most least visible, which meant I did it up the top here because you can't see what's happening under there. Okay, so make sure this bit is as nice as possible. There we go. See, that's worked out really well. Part of me is hoping that one isn't quite right so I can show you, but on the other hand I'm hoping, no, I've done it all perfectly okay. But we'll see. If I do find one that's a bit off, I will tell you. I won't sit here hoping that you don't notice. Oh, here we go, this one. See that? Like that, it's not quite the same all the way along. So I am going to pull this along a little bit if I can. If Tombo will let go just a little bit. Come on, Tombo. That's it. There we go. So this looks good, and that's where it's a little bit out. So, but it'll be hidden. Most of it will be hidden, if not all of it. Okay, so let's do this one. I didn't remove the pencil marks on this either. It's quite dark, so I might not notice. I'm sorry that this video is going to be quite a bit longer than my regular videos, but I really feel that this is worth it. It won't be one of those cards that you'll make if you're in a hurry. It's one of those cards you'll make when either you're doing it for somebody special or when you're looking forward to doing something that's going to keep you occupied for a while. See, that one's gone really nicely again. Okay, so there's those. So let's bring this one in. And, okay, so this is the bit we're working on the inside. So that's that one. That is that one. That is that one. Oh, good, all worked out. Oops. Ooh, panic. I didn't think that was going to work out there. Okay, so we stick these in. You should get a nice big wide gap around here. When I was going through Pinterest last week, I found 2 or 3 really nice cards. So I've got ideas for the next few. But they certainly don't look as involved as this one. But if you're a demo out there, I know it takes a long time, but if you're doing a retreat or something and you're always looking for something a bit different, this is a great card. Next we're going to come to the fiddly bit. There is only one fiddly bit, you'll be pleased to know. And it's not as fiddly as it was when I did my first one. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side. Now I'm going to bring these in. And I'm going to bring my card back in. Now these are the little supports that you need for this triangular piece. And the original video said to make these 1/2 inch wide, but I was fiddling too much with that, so I made one 1 inch wide. Okay, so what you need to do, I'm going to do this one first and then this one, and because they're both on this side, they need the long piece towards the edge of the card. Okay, if you have it folded like that, just put glue on the little 1/4 inch strips. Not too much so that it's going to ooze out. If you do feel that you've got a bit too much, just get yourself a little bit of blank paper and dab them on. Now remembering that you want to put the bigger one that side. So this edge I'm lining up to the edge of the green, and then the top I'm putting it up to line up with the top of the DSP. Okay, so to the edge of the green, hold that bit down, keep that closed and push it down, and then make sure it's lined up with the DSP. I've got a little bit showing there, but that's okay. Okay, let me show you how close I am to that. Okay, so that's side really close to the edge, and that bit is close there. And you can see that I've got the big side here. You may feel that it doesn't feel as if it's moving or anything. That's normal, but it will work. assuming you put it on the right way, it will work, definitely. Okay. Let's give that a little bit of a dab. Big one on the outside. Line that up to the dot of the old olive, but keep it up a bit so it lines up with the Designer Series paper. Oops, you've come off. In fact, what I found last time that happened, this happened a lot when I did them just a quarter of an inch long, half an inch wide. And it was a real struggle. I just found it easier making it double width. Right, let's just use that to keep that down. You need another one for that by the looks of things. Maybe I'm not putting on enough. Either that or I'm dabbing off too much. Let's leave that like that. Let's persevere with these two. Let's try not to take any off. Okay, wide bit down here. Let me pull my chair in a bit. I feel a bit too far away. Alright. Got a little bit of glue on there. Right, put that to the edge of the green and then to the top of the Designer Series paper. That looks right. Can't lift it up at the moment, so let's put that down on that one. Right, the big side to the outside. Oh, that's good, big side to the outside. That'll be easy to remember. Right, lining up with the edge and lining up with the DSP. Okay, so that's those pieces done. So the next is to get this inside. Right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a little bit of glue, well, I'm going to put some glue on there, there, there and there. Okay, not too much, don't go too close to the edges because that is going to spread out a bit. Yeah. And then, now this bit's a little bit difficult. Not sure it's really necessary, but because it was in Inky Inspirations instructions, I'd do the same. And that is very gently put a little bit of glue on the top. Not enough so it starts rolling down. It just needs a bit of patience to do this one. Bear with me. Right, there we go. Now at the moment there's not a right way, not an up or down way. So if you lift your card, because this is going to go into that fold, you're going to have a bit of a gap between the basic beige and the top of this, top and bottom. So just try and hold it up like that, put it onto the fold, make sure your gap is about the same, top and bottom, that looks about right, and then close your card. Okay, so the glue now will adhere to the main insert piece. Okay, just give that a few seconds to get a grip. Okay, it's just enough there to make sure that this does stay up. Are they stayed glued down? Yep, they're all down. Good. Okay. Right, now the next piece we're going to be using is this. Now I've forgotten which was top and bottom. I think that was the top one, wasn't it? Not that it really matters, but... So what we're going to do with this, in fact I folded mine wrong. It should be that way round. Okay, so it should be folded so that you've got Old Olive on the outside. On both of them. I think I've done this bit back to front on all of the cards I've done. Okay, so that was the bottom one, wasn't it? This is the top. Now I will leave this overnight under a weight once I've finished making the card. So the way we stick this in here, we're going to put some glue on here. Once we've done that, we're going to adhere it to this. This piece is the same height as that piece, so it will just line over the top. Okay? And then the whole piece gets adhered down so that it meets up all the way around there. Once that one's done, we're going to do this, and that's going to meet up with that one as well. Okay, so one piece at a time. If you're brave, you could do 2 pieces at a time. I'm not. So let's do this one first. Okay, so I'm going to line this corner here, these 2 sides, up with these 2 sides. And this is why I said try and make sure you get these lined up. And that one underneath, so that all of this gets lined up. It's not so bad at the bottom because when your card stands up, people really aren't going to notice that. And then this one, and then bring that over. And just use your... Oh, that stuck really quickly, didn't it? Can I move you over a bit, please? That's it. There we go. Okay. Brilliant. So let's do this first one. Make sure I got it up the right way. Line this up. I'm going to try gluing this one first, seeing how I had a bit of trouble with that one. Might be easier. Okay, so let's turn it round a bit and then line it up. Oh yes, that is easier. You may want to try that way rather than what I did on the first one. I'm getting glue on there. Okay. Yes, that's lined up a lot better. Much better. Okay. So all I need to do now are my sentiments, which are over there, which I said I was disappointed with because I really need to do them white. Well, I don't know, maybe white will just make them pop out a bit. Let's see what you think. Does make it pop, doesn't it? I'm going to use these. Right, okay. The front one is just straightforward. I just glued that all the way down. I don't know why I started gluing that one. Okay, now what I found with using this die, and I will measure these oblongs in case you don't have this set, and I know that on the side where I can't put too much glue, which is this one, obviously I can put more glue on this side because it's sharper, it's lower. I know that I can put glue to the bottom of the first curve and on this side to the bottom of the second curve, and that applies top and bottom. So that's a single one. Okay, so that's the bottom of the first curve, so I don't want my glue to come any lower. On this side, that's the bottom of the second curve, so I just draw across like that. And then same this one, bottom curve, second bottom. If you didn't want to use sentiments like this, you could always use an image. For example, with this Designer Series paper, there's one particular pack where you get cutouts, and you would be able to use that. Now this, I'm just looking so that I've got the same sort of balance, gap there as I have there, and hopefully that it's straight with that one. You don't need these in here to keep these together, because that's not a huge gap there. It will support itself. So this is the single. Okay, so this is the reverse of the other one. That's a single, and that's a double end. This is a double end, single. There we go. There we go. Splotch some ink there. So there we go. There's, until you get until the card gets used to it, sometimes you have to pull this bit out. But what do you think? Do you think that's a really stunning card? Hubby definitely said wow, so I hope everybody else does too. As I say, I'll give you a link for Inky Inspiration for her video. Have I done that bit crooked? Yes, I have, haven't I? It's too late to move now. Oh, never mind. It's handmade. Can't be perfect. So there we go. That's this card. I think this is going to be my favourite. Although I always like the ones that have been made with the Flight & Airy Designer Series paper. And the one that I haven't shown you, let me see if I can't get them all in the screen. Let me see if I just get bits of them in. But the one I didn't show you is a masculine one. This is for my grandson for his birthday. I may well put a white, no, the fancy label at the back there. Yeah. Although that's quite light enough to write on. Anyway, this is from the aircraft one. I can't think what it's called. But just open that up. And then you've got all the planes in there. And I put his name up there as well. Okay, so any name that's got an even number can go in there, unless you come up with an idea of, I don't know. But these were complete pictures as well. The plane goes on. The plane goes on there. As I say, I don't know whether people would really notice. But there we go. That's today's project. I hope you really like it, and I really hope you give it a try. It's worth the effort. It really is. Card making is a hobby, so relax, enjoy, and go for it. Many thanks for joining me today. If you'd like to purchase any of the products I've used today, apart from anything that's retired, which I think is only this Designer Series paper, this is the link for my online Stampin' Up shop. And if you shop with me during February, please use the February HOSTESS code so that when I send out my thank you gifts at the end of February, beginning of March, I will also be able to send you some free product with that. And don't forget that celebration is still on until the 28th of February, so you've still got a few more days to get an order in if you've seen any of the celebration gifts that you particularly would like to get. If there's nothing else that you want but the gift, then just check your stock that you need. Make sure you've got enough of cardstock and inks and, you know, your consumables and whatever. So there we go. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please do. I'm trying to get my numbers higher and higher, and obviously it does me well as far as the YouTube algorithms are concerned as well, so I appreciate that. And also please note that I'm probably one of the only, I'm not sure about this, if you know of others please let me know, but I think I'm probably one of the only demonstrators that doesn't have adverts in the middle of my videos. It's very easy to block. I would earn more money if I had those ads in there, but personally I find it really irritating to all of a sudden be interrupted, and so I don't do it. Do as you would be done unto is my motto. So there we go. Many thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, happy crafting. Cheerio.